That's wonderful. Then we can get started. So, I shared about my story yesterday. And I don't want to repeat the same story again today, so I'm gonna share a bit of a different angle. And a part of my story is that I was born with what I would now call 5D consciousness, or what we now call 5D consciousness. Like, from when I was a child, I experienced oneness. And I think a lot of people with autism, a lot of sensitive people have this understanding. And I've shared about this before, because when you see what people are doing, how people are doing things, and how the way that the world is currently set up and operating is actually harmful for everyone involved, then, but when you say that, and the people around you are so used to the common structures and to the way the world is currently operating, they tell you, or they told me, that I was wrong, that the way that I see the world, that's not how it works, and that we have to be strong and assert ourselves in order to get anywhere in life, and that it's normal to trick other people and it's normal to exploit other people, and that's just how life and this world have always been. And so, because what I saw and what I felt and what I recognized wasn't welcome, or didn't seem to be welcome, and people didn't want to hear it, I silenced myself. I stopped talking about the things that I knew and that I felt in my heart and that I saw. And I don't know if because of that or if that came as a package together, but I always had a strong connection of what I called God then, what I now know to be my highest self, my soul, my guides. And I've always been connecting to them and with them, and received a lot of guidance that way. And because of the way that I'm wired, I can see the energy lines around people. I can see how things are connected. I can see the consequences of things. And I often have visions of what is to come, given the current energy structures and the way that people are moving things. So that helped me also to understand myself, my healing journey, because when you see the consequences of things, then you can also start rearranging yourself in order to create a different outcome. And this is what I've been talking about yesterday as well. Like, if we want to heal, or if we want to manifest anything in our lives, we have to forget about the reality. We have to forget about the pain. We have to forget about everything we learn to pay attention to in this world, and focus simply on the desired outcome until we feel it, until we live in it, and until that becomes our new reality. And in that way, we move from being victims of our circumstances, having to react constantly to what the world throws at us, to actually consciously creating our reality, creating our healing, creating our lives, creating everything that we wish for. And somebody pointed out yesterday, and I really appreciated that a friend of theirs died recently, and she tried everything she could to heal her cancer, yet she still died. And what I mentioned then too is that we have soul contracts, that we have certain soul agreements. And so when I talk about that we can heal everything, that is kind of a response to what we are taught and told in the world today, which is that we need medication to heal, that we need doctors to heal, that we need healers to heal, that we need other outside sources in order to heal ourselves, which is not true. We can heal everything from within ourselves as long, and this is important, it aligns with our soul contract, because our soul decided to have a certain experience on this earth. And we can connect to that in some way or another the more we train ourselves to find out about that. And the Wheel of Colors soul reading that I offer also can give you a lot of insight into these agreements that you made and the things that you choose to experience on earth in this lifetime. And as I understand it, as I know it for now, our soul decides where it is born, how it is born, like everything is decided, and also our death is decided. So if you watch people talking about their near-death experiences, you see that there is either somebody saying it's not your time yet, or they get to make the choice of whether they want to return to Earth or not. And so at death, if you are in an accident, if you die of natural causes, then you are always given the option if you want this to be final or not. So we do have a say in that on a soul level, even if we might not be able to access that from the human level. So I felt, and I was silenced for a long time of my life. When I was 42, 41, I moved to the countryside by myself, just with my dogs. And after living in big cities for a long time and being very depressed because of my gifts, I felt it very difficult to work in situations with lots of people because I see the life stories swirling around them. So it's very loud for me to be in these kinds of environments. I started working as a web designer because I could do that from home. But eventually I realized this is not my gift. This is not what I came here to do. And so I started changing things around. And I see now that I guess the self-healing aspect of what I'm offering is the part that is most important right now, because on a human evolutionary level, we are entering into a new stage. And until now, we have co-created collectively a system of oppression in one way or another. And we have governments governing over us instead of governing ourselves as sovereign individuals. We have given a lot of our power away, which we can now reclaim. And healing is a big part of that. Because when we trust other people, doctors, healers, whoever, instead of ourselves, then we remain in a state of addiction. We're not free as humans. We're not free as individuals. We are always depending on others to heal things for us, to do things for us, to tell us things. Whereas when we grow our connection to our inner voice, to our inner knowing, to our connection to source energy, and the information we receive from there, from our souls, from our guides, then we become independent and sovereign beings. But we have to do this collectively, because no one, like Krishnamurti said this, like it's no sign of health to be well adjusted to a sick society. So by healing ourselves, we automatically also heal the society. equally, we have to focus on healing the society, because if we as an individual are healthy, something's wrong on an individual level, but we still constantly connected to the stress of the outside world. And so this is something that plays together, that has to come together. We heal ourselves. We learn how to heal ourselves. We learn how to hear our inner voice, follow our inner guidance, live our passions, live passionately, joyfully, and then radiate that outward to inspire other people to become sovereign individuals as well. And this is what I'm here to do, to help each one of you and everyone who's interested to step into their full power and to develop their full power. And the Wheel of Colors soul reading that I offer is a wonderful tool to help us in this ascension process, because it reveals us all the colors that we need to activate as human beings. And so we can work through them with certain colors. We each have all the 13 colors. And we can work through the qualities connected to these colors to step into our full power. And that is something wonderful and joyful and doable, and it can take us to enlightenment, it can take us to ascension, and it can take us to simply being happy and healthy as who we are, and to discover our self-healing powers. So this is another aspect of my story. And now I'm happy to answer questions if you have any.